Hello, hello, hello. Come on in. Come on in, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. Come on in. Come on in. So, this is a first time ever smoke free session. So, we are talking about quitting smoking. Now, I am April, and we're going to go by Do It Yourself Girl because that's what I'm going by. All right, so I am Do It Yourself Girl. This is live, and I have to remember that because I'm trying to also, I'll be editing this into a video so that I can get this out to, a broader audience. So, this is about quitting smoking, and which is extremely hard for those of you who may have been trying or have tried and or you want to. It's extremely hard, but I want to talk about it. And if you're coming in, please like the video so we can spread it, and subscribe if you haven't already done so. Here at this channel, I like to, just like my title says, do it myself. I do all things myself. So I have so many different projects that I work on, and I want to share ways of saving money, which is involving this. This is also going to save money because I know people invest a lot of money into trying to quit smoking, and I know that because I did. And that's another thing too I want to say. So I am not a medical professional, okay? I'm not a psychiatrist, psychologist, medical doctor. However, I am a smoker. I am a smoker. So I am just sharing my experience with quitting smoking. I am sharing what I did with you. This may help you. And I want to share the things that I wished someone would have told me. And again, if it doesn't matter to you, then you can not be here. But welcome, welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. Hey Zane, how you doing? Hey Patrick, what's up? So yeah, come on in, come on in. There's a lot of people, believe it or not, there's a lot of people that are struggling with trying to quit smoking. A lot of people. And I spent many, many years. Thank you. Thank you, Zane, for subscribing. So I spent many years, a long time, trying to stop smoking. So many years. And everything that I tried, it didn't work. Didn't work. Until one day, hey Matt, how you doing? Thanks for coming in. Come on in, everybody. Like the videos and be sure to subscribe. So one day, I had a family member that went into the hospital, and they because of their, now they were a smoker as well, and because I was around this person so much, I said, oh, when they come home from the hospital, I gotta stop. Thank you, babe. Thank you, Matt. So I was like, I gotta stop smoking. I can't be around this person smoking cigarettes. I was, when I say cigarettes, I was one of those heavy cigarette smokers, okay? And now they do other things. You don't see many people with cigarettes. But yeah, but it's all the same. So I went home that day. This was a few days before Labor Day of 2015, okay? And I went home that day and I said, okay, that's it. I got to stop. And let me just keep in mind now, I had been wanting to stop years before. I had tried so many different things, which I'll get into in just a moment. Um, so many different things on what I did to stop, to try and stop, and nothing worked. So this time, I was ready mentally. I was ready, and I was going to do anything and everything that I needed to do to not smoke anymore. I just couldn't do it. Couldn't smoke anymore. So for those of you, anyone in here that's a smoker, is anyone here that's a smoker that wants to stop smoking? Um, or maybe you don't want to stop smoking and you're just here to learn information, or maybe you know someone that is a smoker and you want to maybe pass information to them. Anybody has a struggle or know someone who's struggling to stop smoking? If so, put a one in the chat if you know someone or if you are struggling to stop smoking. Let me know. And this is live, so give me a break. This is live. Okay. So there are, believe it or not, and some people might not want to, admit it. I know I'm going to tell you, when I was a smoker, especially once I started to uh, attempt to quit, like at that point, it had started to become an embarrassing habit. I did not like having a habit of smoking cigarettes. I didn't like it. So it might have been something that I liked when I was young, when I was like young, a teenage, whatever. But it turned into something that was just disgusting. I didn't like the way it smelled. I didn't like the way it made me smell. I didn't like the way, oh, let me just say this too. The worst thing about smoking that I remember, the worst thing was, and what I'm doing is I'm opening this microphone, seeing if this will help with the sound. But the worst thing that I remember when I was smoking was my lips. Yep, my lips. Now, your skin darkens, as you get older. But there was a time when I was much lighter than what I am right now. And my lips, these are natural, so I don't have no lipstick on, okay? My lips, they used to be, when I was smoking, okay? I had developed these like darkness. I'm not talking about around the edge where a lot of people, have the darkness. I'm talking about in here, right in here. It was dark, okay? It was just so ugly to me. It was ugly to me. So it used to bother me so much. I used to wear like dark lipstick. I wore heavy lipstick. Now I don't even have to wear lipstick if I don't want to. I just moisturize the lips. You know, so there's so many benefits that you have when you actually do quit smoking. There's so many benefits. But we'll talk about that too, either in this video or in another video. Okay, so I want to go over some steps. This is so important. I'm telling you, when I tell you that this is going to work, this is going to work. It's going to work. Trust me. Trust me when I tell you this is what you follow to stop smoking. Trust me. I'm telling you. And all y'all, those of you who smoke and you hear all these things, they say, get the patches. They say, and I'm talking about the nicotine patches. They say, oh, get this nicotine gum. They say, let's see. I don't even know how many patches I've gone through. I've invested in so many patches. I invested in nicotine gum. I even paid $600 for this like hypnosis treatment. And they were like, they were putting this little laser clicker thing around, certain spots that were supposed to have been like nerve endings or something. And they said, yeah, as soon as you walk out of here, you're not gonna, the urge of wanting to smoke is gonna be gone. That's what they said. So, and I paid $600 for that. $600. And man, that was so crazy and funny. So I actually paid $600 for that. I sat in that chair while these people, zap this little laser thing on my nerve ending, and I'm like, okay, I don't feel, the whole time I was sitting there like, okay, Let me see if I can do not disturb. I'm so sorry. Um, right here. Do not disturb. Okay, let's see. All right, so hopefully that helps. Hopefully that helps. Okay, I'm back. I'm back. Okay. Okay, so I went in there and I told you, so I was going a little motion. And the whole time they were zapping me with this thing, I was like, dang, I still have the urge, still have the urge, still have the urge, still have the urge. So I left the office and I still had the urge. And I'm telling you, I fought the urge. I fought the craving for the cigarette. So I walked out of that place and as soon as I walked out, I wanted to get a cigarette. And I'm talking about like, listen to this. My habit was so bad that as soon as I sat in my car and started my car, I wanted a cigarette. That was the habit. That was just a way of life. It was just cigarette as soon as soon as I get I wanted a cigarette as soon as I went outside, as soon as I went into the car. So as soon as I left that place, after spending $600 for that little hypnosis stuff to stop smoking, I wanted a cigarette. So that was a waste of money. And that went on for many years, spending money because I wanted so bad to stop, but I was doing it in the wrong way. And this is why I want to give you this information so that to save you from spending hundreds of dollars on things that probably um, will not work. Will not work. So the way that I stopped smoking is cold turkey. Okay, that's a term that they use when you don't have any help, any assistance, like patches, or I'm referring to nicotine patches. Let me take a sip. Okay, so nicotine patches, gum, medicine, prescription. I even had a doctor say, "Oh yeah, I can prescribe this, and that'll take away the cravings." Save it. So, what you have to do is set a date. You have to set a date. That's the first step. Make sure I check my little steps off. So the first step is to set a date. Okay. So you're going to set a date of when you're going to start to not smoke. Notice what I said, start to not, I didn't say stop smoking. Start to not smoke. So make sure you tell your brain you don't tell your brain I'm stop smoking or quit smoking. Don't tell your brain that. Tell your brain start to not smoke. Sounds silly, but for some reason, quit smoking, stop smoking. When you are really addicted to smoking, your brain does not take well to quit smoking, stop smoking. So you say in your mind, start to not smoke. So that's the first thing. So set a date of when you want to start to not smoke. And let me just say this, when you're picking this date, a lot of people say, oh, let me pick a day that's when I'm off from work, or let me, a day that's not as stressful as others. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I'm telling you, as I stated earlier, I stopped smoking the day before Labor Day of 2015. And we were like having, if I'm not mistaken, we have family over, we're having the big meal, so like those are times that we would be outside and, everybody's outside on the patio. We're just like, smoking, those of us who smoked, and, so it does not matter. So whether it be a day that you're off, whether it be a day that you work, it does not matter. So just set a date to start not to smoke. That's the first thing. Okay. So the next thing is these steps. Now, all right, so we talked about setting a date to start not smoke. And, okay. All right, so people say nicotine leaves your system after 3 days. 3 days, this nicotine is no longer in your system. erase that from your mind. Erase it from your mind, erase it from your mind. Because if nicotine left your system in 3 days, then if you were to take a hair test in 1 month, then it wouldn't be positive if you're a smoker, if you did smoke. So just take the 3 day time frame out of your mind. Now, I will say after 3 days, the because your 3 or 4 days, your urine will not test for nicotine. So there is nicotine leaving your system 3 to 4 days. So the first thing you want to do, you want to set a date to start to not smoke. The second thing you want to do is you start to not smoke per week. Okay, that means, so say if I'm starting to not smoke tomorrow, I'm gonna go a week without smoking. I'm saying I'm not smoking this whole week. That's what you do. Don't say, oh, quitting smoking forever. Stop smoking forever. Don't do that, because that's gonna trigger your brain. That's gonna, scare your brain. So you gotta use psychology on yourself, if it makes sense. So you say, I'm gonna start this day to stop smoke, to not smoke, and I'm going to do it for a week. So you get your calendar and you say, okay, I'm not going to smoke for a week. And you fight through it, and I'll tell you some helpful hints of how to fight through that, because that's the hard part, right? Okay, so you go for the week. Now, when you get through that week, because of how you feel the first week, it's going to be hard. It's just like people that fast. So, when those first few days of fasting is just horrendous. And let me just say that, sorry about that. So don't let anyone tell you that it is easy. It is not easy at all. It's very, very hard. It's probably one of the hardest things that I've ever done in my life is, stop smoking. So, okay. So you're going to get through the first week. Mark it on your calendar. Oh, give yourself a reward. Whatever it is, give yourself a reward when you get through that week. It's just a week, but hey, that's a big, big deal to not have a cigarette for a whole week. Give yourself a reward. So you are treating your brain just like it's a toddler, a 2-year-old. So when the toddler goes to the potty, when you're trying to potty train a toddler, you make a big deal, right? You like, oh, you're clapping, you're just making a big deal. You take pictures of the baby, and you make him or her feel so good that he or she went to potty, right? That is what you have to do to your brain. So after that first week, after you get through that first week, just make a really big deal about it. Don't treat it like, oh, it's just been a week. Don't do that. We have to trick our minds. So so make a big deal about it and mark it on your calendar. Next thing is okay, we're gonna do it for another 2 weeks. You understand what I'm saying? So we got the week down. Next, we're gonna do another 2 weeks without smoking. You see what I'm saying? All right. And then you keep going like that. You keep going like that. So you keep going like that. I'm going to tell you something. For probably a whole 6 months, I was telling my brain that this was a temporary stopping smoking. I was telling myself, oh yeah, you're going to have cigarettes in the future. This is just temporary. We're not going to smoke for another 2 weeks. We're not going to smoke for the next 3 weeks. We're not going to smoke for the next month. I did that for probably 6 months. I was tricking my brain. So my brain never, during that time, my brain never felt like, okay, I'm never, ever, ever going to have a cigarette. You get what I'm saying? So we're tricking our minds. So that is what you do. So keep on, set these little small, short-term goals for yourself. Okay, and then, let's see. Okay, so let's talk about things that we're going to do to get through that first week. Let's talk about things that we're going to do to get through that first 2 weeks, the next month, the 2 months. Let's talk about that for a minute. Okay, so these are things that will help. Now, no one told me this. No one, I wish someone would have told me this. I wish someone would have told me this. I would have made a whole, this would have made a big difference in my life when I was trying to quit smoking. Big, huge difference. Listen, everybody, I'm telling you, listen to me. I'm giving you some real tea, for real. If you want to stop smoking, follow these steps. I'm telling you, it's like, this is a gold mine. Trust me, this is a gold mine. Okay, for those of us who are smokers, it's a gold mine to us. Okay. All right. So everybody know, anybody who smokes or vapes or whatever, like whenever you have that urge, you got to be like, whew, I need my cigarette. And whether it be from habit, when you get your uh, drink or your coffee or whatever people, whatever habit you have that makes you pick up your smoke, instead of picking up your smoke, you're going to, well, number one, you need to get rid of the cigarettes. Get rid of whatever you have, whether it's vape, cigarettes, whatever you have. You need to get it away from you, out of your house. You don't need to have access to it, period. We are only human, so don't torture yourself and just have it sitting somewhere. Like, come on. So be real. Let's be realistic. Get it out, throw it away, burn it, whatever you need to do. Get rid of it. Don't have it anywhere near you. Don't have access to it. Okay. So that's the first thing. Get rid of all residue, all cigarettes. Get rid of it. Throw it away. That's it. Anybody who is around you that may smoke, stay away from them. Stay away from them. Like I said, we're only human. You cannot sit there and think you're going to stop smoking and you're around someone who's just puffing cigarette smoke in your face like that. That's just not, no, don't do that to yourself. So stay away from people who smoke. Um, let's see. And if you're going to be around, because sometimes, you might have a job where you're around somebody that smokes, or sometimes we can't control who we're around that smokes. So if it's a situation like that, just make sure that you're standing at least 4 feet away. And let me tell you where I get this from. The 4 foot rule was when I went to, in one of my medical classes, when I was in school. They said a sneeze and a cough, you want to make sure that you're at least 4 feet back, because those particles can get on you. So what I did is I took that same rule, the 4 foot rule for coughing and sneezing. I took that same rule and I was like, okay, if I had to be around somebody that was smoking, I made sure I stayed at least 4 feet back, because I don't want to get a whip of that sensation. You know what I'm saying? So stay 4 feet away, at least 4 feet away from the person, if you have to be around somebody who smokes. Okay. All right. So, um, this is the number one killer of that craving, that urge. You're going to be so surprised. This is nothing that you have to invest in. This is nothing that's going to cost you anything. Let me tell you something. Ice water. That sounds crazy, but it works. It works. When you get that urge and you feeling like, oh, I gotta have a cigarette, get some ice water and sip it. Sip it like it's coffee, like the same way you sip coffee. Sip on the ice water just like this. Slurp it, whatever you have to do. Sip on the ice water as if it's coffee. Sip it, sip on it, and you're gonna feel like the urge go down, come down. That craving come down. I don't know what ice water does, but it helps with that craving, that sensational urge that you get, wanting that nicotine, wanting that, the inhaling of the cigarette. Drink some cold ice water. That's the number one thing. Number one thing. And people don't, and I'm going to tell you, people thought I was crazy, probably. Every time I got an urge, especially for those 6 months, every time I got an urge, I made sure I kept a water bottle with me. And every time I got an urge, I took some water. I drank some water. What had happened is I started to, because I didn't need ice water, and so I started to drink so much water where it could be room temperature water. It didn't have to be ice water, but at the beginning it had to be ice water. But as you get more used to not smoking, start drinking room temperature water, whatever water you like. And then, because what's going to happen is you're going to start, like your mind, like, again, you're tricking your mind. So your mind is going to get used to those little sips of the ice water, right? The little sips. After about a month, it's going to be like, that's not satisfying me. So what you do then, you start gulping it. It sounds crazy, but it works. It works. It works. Trust me. I can't gulp that, but you know what I'm saying? So you start gulping it as if you just worked out. You know, after you work out and how you drink water, start drinking it like that. So every time you get an urge, drink water. Every time you get an urge. Sounds crazy, but it works. Trust me, it works. Okay, so not just water. The first probably 4 months are the hardest. The first 4 months are the hardest. And I'll tell you why the first 4 months. After the 4th month, why it's not so hard. But the first 4 months, those are the hardest months. So what you're going to do is you're going to get cinnamon. Cinnamon anything. Cinnamon candy, cinnamon, like sugar-free candy, cinnamon suckers, cinnamon gum, like Big Red, for example. If you don't want any sugar like that and, on your teeth, then you can do cinnamon. The cinnamon, herb itself, the cinnamon, you just like taste it. I don't know what cinnamon does with your tongue, but cinnamon satisfies that sensation of wanting the nicotine. It's like they don't match. Like those of you who smoke, if you take cinnamon and put it on your tongue and then try and smoke, it doesn't match. They don't go together. So cinnamon. So what I did when I would go to work, I had like cinnamon pack, and true enough, I'm telling you, I was just opening up the cinnamon and just sucking, not chewing it, but just sucking on cinnamon all the time. So I was drinking lots of water, sucking on the cinnamon. So that was one thing. And then it was one more thing that helps with the cravings, and that was, pickles. And they don't have to be the big pickles. You can do like the little sandwich pickles, the little flat sandwich pickles. You can do those. Pickles help with cigarette cravings. These are things that people don't tell you. These pickles, cinnamon, and water, okay? Those 3 things will so help you with these strong cravings for those first 4 months, because the first 4 months are the strongest cravings. Now, let me tell you, when I was probably after about the first month, I was avoiding, like, I would park my car at my job. I would park it in a certain place because we had a whole big old smoking section on the side of the building, right? So I would not park over there. I could not be around cigarettes, the smell of cigarette, because my urges were strong. So after about the first month, I started to park. My schedule changed where I had to be to work like so early, and the spaces weren't, I was closer to the building in that certain area. So I parked over there. And let me tell you, so I would walk when I was leaving, that's when most people were out there smoking, when I was leaving work. And I'm telling you, I would walk out of that building and walk through that area. This is what I would do. I'm not lying. This is what I would do after the first month. I would walk through the area like this. Man, I would be smelling the smoke. I would be like, because it smelled so damn good. That's how it was for me. It smelled so damn good. So I would just be like, just smelling the smoke. So that's how it was. So the first 4 months are the hardest. Cigarette smoke, you can smell cigarette smoke from far away. If you walk past somebody going into a store and they smoke, you're gonna smell them, and it's gonna be like your nose is a smoke detector. You're gonna be like, like that. So you kind of want to smell the smell almost. That's how it is. You kind of want to smell the smell. So, and that's again in that first 4 month area. So you loving the smell of cigarette smell. You still have urges. You're fighting your cravings, and that's it. Now, during the first 4 months, it's very hard, but it does get better. So the longer time that you're not smoking, the easier it's gonna get. Okay, the easier after that first week. The first week is the hardest week. That's the first week is the hardest. But after that first week, your mind is starting to battle you. Your mind is like, okay, it's starting to figure it out without the smoke, without the smoking. Okay, it's starting to figure it out. Okay, and let me just say this. During that first 4 months, after about the first month, when you say go for a walk or go up the stairs at your job, or whatever you did that caused you to lose your breath, when you realize how your breath control, when you start breathing different, that hits different. When you start breathing differently, it's nothing like that. When you start, now this is for those people who have smoked for a long time. I smoked for a very long time. So I had become used to breathing where I really wasn't breathing, if that makes sense. I had become used to breathing, like taking short breaths. Like, so when I would work out, my breathing was like, you know what I'm saying? So it was like short breaths. I had gotten used to not really being able to breathe correctly. I had become used to it. So after that, after my lungs start clearing up and that cinnamon just opened everything up, and then that cold ice water, it's so refreshing to be able to breathe. I'm telling you, when I started to work out, hard workout, like, on the treadmill, on the elliptical, whatever, when I started to work out, and as a, once that smoke leaves your lungs, and oh my goodness, the feeling is so wonderful when you start actually being able to breathe. You don't even realize it. When you smoke for a long time, you think that you're breathing fine. People say, take a deep breath, blow out. Take a deep breath, blow out. Right? That's what people do. So you thinking, okay, I'm fine. I breathe fine. Stop smoking. And you're going to see that you were not breathing fine. Stop smoking. And after those few months, when you realize how it feels to actually breathe, it's amazing. It's amazing. It's amazing. So that's number one. So when you start seeing, and that comes within, after that 4 month period, you start seeing improvement in the discoloration of your lips. Okay, and this is, I think, mainly for, I think, black people. I think black people, our lips tend to like get dark right here in this area when we smoke. And it probably is the same for white people as well. It's just you can't see it as much, But when you start seeing your lips light up, okay, especially if it bothered you, like it bothered me, when you start seeing your lips light up and you're just like putting on lip gloss or chapstick and that's it, and you don't have to put on all this cooped up lipstick, unless you like it, of course. But when you start seeing the improvement in your breathing and your looks, man, that is when that's what keeps the momentum going. That's what keeps you motivated. Those improvements. That's those improvements. So you're going to start seeing those differences within yourself. Nobody else can see this. People are going to be like, oh, congratulations. How long has it been since you smoked? You're going to be like, oh, yeah, it's been a month and a half. They're going to be like, okay, congratulations. That's so good for you. Right? But that's good for you because of how you are starting to feel and how you're starting to look. Okay, so you're like seeing the difference in your lips. You're seeing the difference in your breathing. You're like, wow, I can actually breathe. Now, I'm about to say something that people will not believe. Get ready. Get ready. Everybody, get ready. After 4 months, nobody knows this. Nobody told me this. Nobody told me this. After 4 months of not smoking, guess what? Guess what's going to start working that you didn't even know stopped working? You didn't even know it stopped working. But guess what's going to start working? Your sense of smell. When you smoke for a long time, when you've smoked, you don't even realize that your sense of smell has been jacked up. It's jacked up. So when you start after the 4 month, it might come back. Your sense of smell might come back sooner than others. It just depends on you. But mine was about 4 months is when I start seeing these big differences. But let me just say this: when I start to get my sense of smell back, I was like, "What is that?" I started smelling stuff, and it smelled different. Things like even certain. My favorite perfume is J'adore. When I smelled, I've been wearing J'adore for a very long time. When I actually smelled J'adore after quitting smoking, it smelled different. It was so, man, it smelled so good. It was like 10 times better than how it was before. I was like, oh my gosh, I can smell stuff. Now, next thing after 4 months, as far as your sense of smell. Okay, so I started to, I moved my elliptical onto the front like porch area. So I was trying to like work out outside, if that makes sense. It was like a screened in type of situation. Okay, so I moved my treadmill out there. Okay, so one day I was out there on my treadmill. This is after the 4 months. Okay, so I'm breathing good. I'm feeling better. I'm like, okay. So I'm working out on that treadmill. And then guess what? Somebody was smoking in the back of the house. Somebody was smoking, okay? Smoking cigarettes. The smoke came, traveled up to the front where I was. And I started smelling something. And I was like, what is that? What is that smell? Dude, I thought somebody was doing some drugs. It did not smell like what I thought a cigarette smelled like. I was like, oh, what this person back there doing? I got off my elliptical. I walked all the way back there, and they were smoking a cigarette. And I was like, you lying to me? This is how a cigarette smell? I don't want to smell like this. I was like, I don't want to smell like this. How I've been smelling all this time? Oh my God, it stinks so bad. It was so stinking. It smelled like some kind of, it just didn't smell like, it just didn't smell like what I had smelled all that time of smoking. So that was a huge plus for me, because then, that when I told you I would walk out of my building, out of the, workplace, and I would walk through that smoking area during those, first couple of months, just to get a whiff of that smell of the cigarette. Okay, well, after the 4 month period, when you start getting your sense of smell back, you actually don't want to walk through that area. Not because you get urges, but because it stinks. It stinks. Like, you can smell people. You can smell people's hair when they walk by. You can smell their clothes. You can smell, man, I was like, dang, my nose is it sensitivity? Like, is my nose sensitive? No, you just gain your sense of smell back. Your sense of smell. So, like, those of you who smoke, if you've ever been around someone and they say, oh, your cigarette, I can smell your cigarette smoke, that means that they just have a nice smell, that their sense of smell is strong, and they're not trying to pick with you. Because I used to think some family members would be just trying to pick with me when they would say, oh, you smell like cigarettes, you smell like, and I used to be like, oh, they just trying to, nag me, whatever. No, to some people, it stinks. It really stinks. And after the fourth month, you're going to be one of those people that find cigarette smoke to be stinking, or any smoke. So, that was a great thing. That was a plus, because now, when you, like, even now, it's been 10 years for me. And even now, like, if I'm walking, we have this outside mall, right? And when I'm walking down the mall and someone's out there smoking, like, I actually go around them. Not because I'm going to have urges when I walk through their smoke, but because it stinks to me. It really stinks. I don't like to be around the smell, because when you get your sense of smell back, cigarette smoke changes, the smell of it changes. It's a different type of smell, and it's not, it stinks. So that is a plus. So that's something that you're going to see, that you're going to be looking forward to, the sense of smell coming back at 4 months. So that's pretty much that. Now, I'm going to say this. This is something that you can't get around it. You can't get around it. So the urges of wanting to smoke, okay? The urges of wanting to smoke will not go away. And what I mean by that, it could be 3 months. 3 months have gone by and you haven't thought about no cigarette. But boy, when that urge comes, that craving comes, it's going to hit you. And you're going to be like, dang. And let me just say this. So this is what people don't tell you. No one told me this. When the urges hit you, listen to this. When the urge hits you, when that craving hits you, it hits hard. Like it hits bam. You just be like wanting to pick up the cigarette. Right? That's what causes us to smoke. Those of us who are smokers, that's what causes us to pick up the cigarette, right? Okay, check this out. When you drink your water, do whatever. Because after a while, you don't have to drink water every time you have an urge or craving. But what's going to happen when because you're going to ignore it, because you're not smoking anymore, right? So you're going to ignore it. And after a few minutes, you're going to say, what happened to the craving? You understand? It just goes away. It doesn't stay long. The craving, the urge, it does not stay. Unless you just sitting there, oh, I gotta have a cigarette, But if you're like, knowing that you're not smoking and you get that urge and craving, you're going to realize, okay, it doesn't last long. It's just a few minutes. If that. I don't even know how long it is, but it was gone after a few moments. So just remember that it's not going to last. It doesn't stay there forever. So just hold on, ignore it. Go through your phone, go look at TikTok, look at a movie, do whatever you have to do, but what? That's so weird. That's my other channel. I don't even know what that means. Maybe what the heck? I'm sorry, that's my other channel right there. Now now I have a second channel. That is so weird. But I have a second channel that where I talk about like entertainment, the entertainment industry, mainly like Atlanta, celebrity, all this stuff. But government, politics. And I try to bring the humor into it, but this is weird. I'm thinking I may have pushed something, and you know how when you text, like it picks up your voice. Maybe that happened. I'm not sure. But yeah. So anyway. So what was I saying? I was talking about the urges. Okay, so they don't last very long. Okay, so just hold on, be strong, do something other than sit there and think about I want a cigarette. Do something else, like do whatever you like to do. If you like to play games, if you like to, you're a hard worker, you want to just like throw yourself into some work, anything that's going to get your mind off of cigarette, watch TV, whatever it is, do that. And then you're going to realize when you're going to be like, oh, it's gone. And that is like so amazing. That's the most amazing. When you fight the craving and you fight the urge and you succeed, you beat it. You beat that urge. So that's when you have to reward yourself. You give yourself some kudos because you actually fought that craving and you won. So give yourself kudos. Like, that's amazing. That's an amazing thing to see your craving come and go. It's going to come and it's going to go. It doesn't last forever. It's going to just be there for just a few moments. So just remember that. Remember that. And like I said, nobody told me this, but I wish that someone would have told me this. Now, let me go through the cravings. This is what you're going to feel, especially those first 4 months. So, but don't let it scare you. It's nicotine craving. When nicotine is leaving your body, you're going to get like these cold sweats. It possibly, not everybody might get the same thing, but what I got was like these cold sweats sometimes. Sometimes I would feel nauseous. And that's pretty much it, you know. But like I said, that's where the water comes in. Don't forget your water. That's going to help that. And then like the cold sweats, that's going to leave. Once the little cravings leave and go to somebody else, it's going to be gone. So just fight it, fight through it, and that's that. Okay, so I think that's pretty much all that we're going to discuss about. So this first video about quitting smoking. So remember the key points that we talked about. The key points is first, set a date to start to not smoke. Don't set a date to quit smoking. Don't set a date to stop smoking. Set a date to start to not smoke. Okay, so remember that. Next is set a time frame, set short-term goals. So I'm gonna start to not smoke 1 week. Okay, 2 weeks, whatever. And now when you get through that 1 week and that 2 weeks, whatever, reward yourself hugely. Make a big deal as if you're training a toddler to potty train. So you're like, okay, make a big deal about it. All right, next, let's see. Remember, the first 4 months are the hardest months. You're gonna have the urges. Fight through the urges. It only lasts a few moments. The cravings, they only last a few moments. No one told me this, but if people knew how long the cravings lasted, I'm not gonna lie. Like, if I would have known how long the cravings lasted sooner than when I did stop smoking, I would have stopped smoking a long time ago. A long time ago. My cravings, I used to have a craving, like even when I was trying to stop smoking, and I would have a craving, I'd be like, oh, I can't fight it. Oh, I gotta get me a cigarette. Just hold on. It's not gonna last. It's not gonna last. Just a few moments. And then but don't forget your water. Don't forget these things. Now this is what I used. Pickles, water, cinnamon, and then breathing. So when you drink that water, breathe in your nose and out your mouth. Deep breaths, because it's so relaxing. A lot of people, like, we get used to smoking these cigarettes because of the, what's that? Oh, I'm gonna tell you another pointer too. Yeah. But this is a little different. But anyway, the albuterol, I think it's called albuterol, that's in cigarette smoke. It's the same thing that people's asthma pumps are. The same thing that's in there is in the cigarettes. So cigarettes, when you inhale, it actually is opening up that thing. The same thing with that albuterol pump. For people that have asthma, it opens up the thing so they can breathe easier. So that's where we get that sensation from. That sensation that we're thinking the cigarette is giving, it's that stuff in the cigarette, and it's opening up that thing. So it's making us feel good because it's opening up so we feel. So that's why you got to replace that with your breathing. So, and it's got to be deep. And take your time, and then you're going to feel that relaxing feeling. It's going to take the place of it. Okay. Now, some people have asked their doctors I've heard of some people asking their doctors for a pump. I don't know. I'm not a medical professional. I don't know if they can prescribe you an asthma pump, albuterol pump, I think it's called. I don't know if they can prescribe that for you if you don't have asthma. I don't know about that. I wouldn't even suggest that, but I've heard some people saying using that to take the place of their cigarette smoke. So, like, if you see someone on an airplane and they're like, you see them, doing that, that's probably because they're a smoker, a heavy smoker, and that's what they're using to satisfy that cigarette feeling, that smoking feeling. So, yeah. So, those are the key points. So, don't forget. So, these are the ways to stop quitting smoking. Does anybody have any questions? And I'm just going to remove this because I did not want my other channel tied to this one. All right, so does anybody have any questions about anything that we've talked about? Any questions about something that maybe I left out even? Anybody have any questions? Okay. So, let's see. All right, so I don't think anybody have any questions. Anybody have any questions at all? Okay, so for those of you who may be coming in, be sure to rewind the video, go back to the very beginning because I laid out some key points on things that I did to stop smoking. I've been smoke-free for 10 years now. 2015, September of 2000 of this year will be my 10th year. So just go back, rewind the video, and there's some pointers. There's some things that people just don't tell you you can use. So be sure to take advantage of that. Listen to them, take notes, write these down, and get rid of the cigarettes. You're going to see everything just brighten up. Your lips, your breathing, your skin. You don't smell like smoke. Your hair doesn't smell like smoke. You can smell your perfumes and your lotions. Like, oh, I love the smell of my lotions and my perfumes. And I'm going to tell you something. I was at work. Now, I love a nice smelling man. Okay. I love it. Okay, all the years I was at work, I did not pay attention to anything as far as how other people are smelling. Okay, so I was on my computer and I needed some help. So I asked this guy to come help me with something on my computer. Man, now this was after that 4-month time frame. He came over and he kind of leaned over, right? He leaned over and, just do whatever he was doing. Boy, that whiff, that smell came. It came and it hit me so hard. I was like, boy, I was mesmerized. I was like, that smells good. I was like, dang, I've been missing out on this all this time. Because, like, remember, your sense of smell has come back. And, man, you're going to be able to smell people smelling good. You're going to be able to smell it. Unfortunately, you're going to also smell stuff that don't smell good. So, stuff that, like, you could sit in someone's car and it's almost like when you smoke and then you stop smoking, it makes you smell even better than you did before. That's what it seems like, because you can get in someone's car or you can go in someone's home and you can smell everything. You can smell everything, things that you don't necessarily want to smell all the time. So not everything smells good, but yeah, you're gonna smell, like, I love fragranced lotions and perfumes. Like, I love it because I can smell it now. You know what I'm saying? And it smells so good and fresh and, ooh, yeah. Those are the benefits. Being able to smell, again, being able to not have to put on so much lipstick because my lips are now no longer discolored. They're back to his normal color. Look, no lipstick. See? Just back to his normal color. Just everything is just great. So, give it a try. Remember, you are starting to not smoke. Set a date to start to not smoke. Throw it, all your cigarettes away, throw your vape away, whatever you smoke on, throw it away, throw it away, throw it away. And you can do it. Okay, email me. My email is in my description. So if you have any problems or questions, you can email me. And I'm trying to think of anything, because I know people, some people don't want to like tell other people that they smoke, because some people are embarrassed of it. I was embarrassed of it. I'm trying to think of anything mm, that I can think of that people may, hmm. I can't think of anything else. I think I've answered everything that I would have wanted to. Everything that I wish that someone would have told me is what I've told you. So all these things that no one told me about, all these things. And guess what? All those years of buying nicotine patches, all those years of buying nicotine gum, the hypnosis crap, like all that money was wasted, because you don't need all that. So just follow these steps. You're preparing your mind. You already know what to prepare for. So you're preparing your mind, and just do it. Okay? So just do it. Why is this? That is so crazy. Is it? Okay, I thought I deleted this, but I guess I didn't. Am I crazy, or am I crazy? Let me see him. Okay, so I'm going to have to just try this. Okay, there it is. Let's see. Let's remove that. Oh, I removed the wrong thing. Oh well. Whatever. Sorry about that. I just deleted someone else's message, trying to delete this other thing. Okay. That's okay. Let's see. Yeah, that's okay. All right, so I think that's all that I have to say right now about quitting smoking. And I wish you luck with everything. Again, if you have questions, be sure to email me. My email is outer, OUTER BEAUTY. So outerbeauty0875@gmail.com. So if you have any questions, I'll be more than happy to answer them for you. And prepare yourself. Really, if you want to stop, you're going to stop. If you really want to stop, you're going to stop, and you don't need all that stuff. All those, you don't have to go and invest in all these expensive things to stop smoking. You can smoke. You can stop smoking on your own. Trust me. So do it yourself, okay? Men and women, do it yourself. You can do it. I did it. If I can do it, as long as I've smoked, trust me, you can do it. So let's get to it. Let's get it. Let's get it. You can do it. And it's going to feel so damn good once you stop. All right. All right. So thank you. Thank you all for coming in, watching. I really appreciate it. Again, if you haven't already done so, be sure to subscribe to my channel and like the video. And remember, this is a do-it-yourself channel. That's what I do. I do everything myself. I try to anyway. I everything, especially outside of my house. In my house, I try to do everything that I can. So they look for more projects coming soon. And again, thank you for watching. And I'll come back with like, I guess, follow-up videos. I'm going to try to turn my live, take a little clippings of this live and make a video for the masses. So anyone who may have missed it, they can kind of just go back and see the key points, maybe in like a short or something like that. So that's what I'm going to do. But thank you again for watching. I really appreciate it, and I will see you soon. Thank you.